Okay, I've got 900 words in my script in 5 minutes today, so I'm gonna talk super fast. Please bear with me. Okay, video game developing. Why is it such a nightmare? Okay, normally it's not supposed to be. It actually isn't, because most video game development teams have, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of people. But this is about developing a video game by yourself. And I've done that before. I wouldn't say I've succeeded, but I tried. So, video games, they're broken up into many parts. But first up, how do you make a video game? You use a software called a video game development engine, and they work kind of similarly to real life. They use objects, and each object has a set of properties associated with it. Like this pillow in the video game development engine, this pillow would have a squishy property, so it's squishy. Okay, so, well, okay, let's cover 2D games first. It's simpler. And 2D games, actually, I haven't covered how objects work yet. Yeah, in video game development engines, objects, okay, as they're seen, are kind of invisible to the player. So when you boot up the game, the object will be invisible if it doesn't have a sprite or a texture or model associated with it. Textures and models are for 3D games, sprites are for 2D games. So sprites are images, okay, that define how something looks. Like this pillow, its sprite is what you're seeing right now, the front section. So in a video game, this pillow, the front of it, would be the sprite. And sprites, to save space, sprites are hundreds of them, sometimes thousands of them are stored on a big file called a sprite sheet. But you may be asking, how do you get only one sprite from the big sprite sheet? Well, they load only a small section of it. So say on the sprite sheet, there might be 5 different pillow sprites, but they only load one part of the sprite sheet to get the pillow sprite. And that's all sprites. Animation time. Animations are really just a series of sprites played one after the other. So, first pillow sprite, second pillow sprite, third pillow sprite. Animation. That's it. It's just a series of sprites loaded in one after the other. Pretty simple. What was I talking about? Hitboxes. Yes, hitboxes can be of 2 types, but they have to be of at least 1. Okay, they can be a collision hitbox or a trigger hitbox. A trigger hitbox is, well, exactly what it sounds like. Actually, wait, hitboxes are shapes, invisible shapes that are attached to the object. So this pillow would have an invisible shape attached to it. Okay, and then visible shape, if it's a trigger hitbox, then when something touches the trigger hitbox, something will be triggered, like an object movement. If it's a collision hitbox, they'll act like a solid object. When you punch it, you collide with it. It acts like a solid object. Hitboxes can be both collision and trigger hitboxes as well, but they have to be either a collision hitbox or a trigger hitbox. Next, behaviors. Yeah, they're exactly what they sound like. Well, an object behaves a certain way. So, they're like, you ever see Scratch? Or, those systems where you connect a bunch of blocks together and you mix quote-unquote code? Yeah. So, video game development engines, they use a similar concept called a visual scripting system. But it's a million times more complicated. And so, you use that to create a behavior like when up button pressed, character move up. Simple, right? Well, not exactly. It is simple, but if you want to do something more complex, you can, well, it gets hard to do a lot more complex stuff with visual scripting systems because they're limited. They can only do a certain amount of things. They don't have everything. You can custom program your own behaviors, and that's where programming comes in. Now, visual scripting systems, they don't really require code, but helps to learn code. It helps you understand how the visual scripting system works, but visual scripting systems are limited, and that's why you have the option to add your own code to the visual scripting system. There are good visual scripting systems out there, some so good that they require nearly no code, but most visual scripting systems require some amount of code if you're looking to put in complex things. And there's cutscenes. there's more hitboxes, there's story design, level design, gameplay, gravity, physics, implementing good hitboxes. There's so many things to cover of video game development, so I'm not going to cover all of them in this video. I simply cannot afford to. Yeah, that's all. It's extremely hard to create video games, but I don't know, with enough patience, I guess, you can do it. Bye.